Hey guys, Andrew coming at you. In this one, I thought I'd talk about Mars Generation. The Mars Generation is on Netflix, and I just watched it last week, and I thought it'd be nice to talk about here. I really enjoyed this documentary. It follows a bunch of younger students, or young people, probably age 15 to like 16, that are at space camp in the United States, and they're very excited. And it pointed out a really cool thing that this generation of people is probably going to be the ones that'll end up going to Mars. When I was a kid, I always had a fascination with space. I think most of us can have such a great, fascination for space, and I always wondered why we didn't go to Mars. Now, I was able to figure that out, but I think this documentary does a really good job of just talking about the overall space race. So basically, it follows these kids, and then it also shows clips from, people that are former astronauts and some celebrities that are also talking about going to space. It also goes all the way to Elon Musk and talks about how great it is that we have rockets now that can land itself. It does a really good job explaining why we didn't go to Mars, and it talks about why it's so complicated getting to Mars, but that it does seem possible. Right now, it looks like we're going to be able to go to Mars within 20 or 30 years. I think this is a fun documentary. I think if you're not that familiar with space, if space is something that you've always been more curious about, because I think that the younger generations haven't really had a chance to, experience space in the way that I never really had a chance to, but I was around kind of in the early 2000s and 90s when we had the space shuttle program. And it does a good job talking about the space program, or the space shuttle and why they got rid of the space shuttle, why it was very expensive. So overall, I really enjoyed this documentary. I would highly recommend it. If I was going to give it, stars, if like 5 stars were the highest, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars, or yeah, about 4 out of 5. I think that's good enough. I was engaged. It was a good look. It was a good documentary. Maybe worst case scenario, it could have been a little bit shorter than it was, but that's about it. Guys, if you like this one, give me a like, and as always, you can subscribe. I don't do a lot of reviews of things on like movies or television shows, but the reason I'm doing it here is because I like to do them if I think there isn't a video out there going into it. So I highly recommend it, and if you liked it, I'd love to hear what you can say about it in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.